as much as I think in all of our childhoods, we can agree that the Nintendo is firmly rooted in our hearts and our souls. The NES, the Super NES, the GameCube, the N64. Boy, is it hard not to talk about how great Sony has been the last 15 or so years, really finding their stride. And I gotta say that some of my most memorable gaming moments were on a PlayStation console, on a PlayStation exclusive game. So it's super exciting that Sony is in fact announcing 30 years of Sony PlayStation. And I know it's not quite 30 years yet, but they're ramping up for the celebration and they've got a few things to announce. The blog post that came out today talks all about the 30th anniversary. I am sure many of you guys have seen the rumored PlayStation 5 Pro hidden within the sacred symbols behind the 30th anniversary logo. Actually, right here, I'm not even going to try to make it bigger. There's a lot of more analysis and screenshots online than I even care to announce. I do find it kind of humorous, though, as I'm getting ready to look through this blog post for the very first time, other than the screenshot, which has been all over my feed. It's so funny that here you have the 30th anniversary of PlayStation. We're getting ready to celebrate this amazing new Astrobot game, which is breaking like every Metacritic record. I feel like it is like one of the top 3 rated games this year. It is funny to look over here and see the old Concord blog where Concord died in a fire. So GG's Concord. Let's look at what everything else is going on. Actually, let me make this a little bit bigger. I don't think you guys care about the latest news in the ads. That's a little too big. There we go. Should be a little easier to read. And I scrolled way ahead. That's okay. All right. Hello, PlayStation fans. As we celebrate this Friday's upcoming release of Astrobot, Team Asobi's tribute to 30 years of iconic PlayStation characters, stories, and magical moments, we want to thank you for the love and passion you've shown for PlayStation. Your enduring support has made these past 3 decades possible. While PlayStation's 30th anniversary is still a few months away, today we're delighted to share some of the ways we'll be commemorating this milestone with all of you. The first thing that they're talking about is a little bit of tribute to Gran Turismo, digital soundtracks from classic PlayStation games. This excites me. You guys know I've been on a real big music kick lately, talking about that Visions of Mana soundtrack that is like so good. And to create fun moments with our new Shapes of Play collection. These are just a few of the ways we're inviting you to join in the community celebration, which starts this month. And for everyone excited to jump into Astrobot, we're pleased to share a first look at the 30th anniversary photo opportunity located in the game's central hub, where the bots you saved throughout your spacefaring adventures will hang out, ready to dance along with all your stylish moves. There you go. So there is a little video here. We'll get a little video. Cut the sound so YouTube doesn't yell at me. And there's all the dudes. Oh, look at that. He's playing on the OG DualSense controller. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. Let me go back and show that again. Can I click away? Right here? Can you see that? That's the OG PlayStation 1 controller, little cord there. That's cool. And I hope, just as a quick aside before we get too off on a tangent, I did pre-order Astrobot. I will get it tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to have a review up before all of my contemporaries because I'm going to be on travel. But if it is even a quarter as good as the original the Astrobot games, I'm just beyond thrilled. Just looking at the screenshot, I don't know if you could tell the smile on my face, seeing some of my beloved characters hanging out in the background. I just know this game's going to be so good. And it comes out at such a good time, right? All right. And we're going to look at what's ahead. My first GT. This holiday, look forward to a free trial version designed to attract diverse players with all skill levels to the globally acclaimed Gran Turismo 7. You know, believe it or not, I actually haven't played GT7. All my racing games actually happen on my Xbox Series X with my Logitech steering wheel connected to those. So I haven't been in a Gran Turismo since the first one. But anyways, this upcoming release will include some of our favorite cars, tracks, and race events that evoke the nostalgia of the very first Gran Turismo experience. Look for more details on My First GT available to all PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 holiday players this holiday. Okay, so sounds like they're doing some sort of tournament with Gran Turismo. I think it's safe to say Gran Turismo, the first real racing simulator, that I still have my original copy of the game, but man, oh man, that original user manual that came with that was like a 45-page driving manual explaining the importance of cornering and steering and accelerating. And wow, to this day, there are still lessons that I take into every racing game with me from that original instruction book. That was such an impactful moment, I think, on so many people's lives. Playing through the first Gran Turismo, leveling up your car, listening to some of the really cool soundtrack in the background. That was awesome. That definitely is a nostalgic moment for me. Obviously, I veered away from Gran Turismo, no pun intended. I veered away from Gran Turismo into Forza instead, particularly because I got steering wheel and a dedicated console to racing games. But Gran Turismo will always hold a place in my heart. Digital soundtracks. In addition with Sony Music, each month from October through January, we'll release for the first time on Spotify a set of digital soundtracks from fan-favorite PlayStation franchises. You'll be able to stream the following game soundtracks on Spotify or purchase them for various digital storefronts, including Amazon, Apple, and participating music retailers. They got God of War 2, God of War Ghost of Sparta, Twisted Metal, Starhawk, and Unit 13. How cool is that? And there you see a little bit of the cover art of the original God of War. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Ghost of Sparta original soundtrack. That is really, really cool. You can also vibe on our specially curated 30th anniversary Spotify playlist today, featuring some of the most streamed music by PlayStation gamers around the globe. Can I actually click on this, or do I have to open some sort of Spotify account? I don't have a Spotify account. All right, that's good. We can at least look at this together. I don't know if these are the most iconic PlayStation. I'm trying to find stuff. I mean, like, this is like a lot of like pop music, right? So I would argue that as I'm scrolling through this, I don't really know if I believe this. I would argue that most of the iconic these are just number one hits. Really, and let's not kid ourselves here, PlayStation is owned by Gen X, and if you weren't listening to grunge and you don't remember jamming out and losing your mind to the original Road Rash soundtrack on the original Sony PlayStation, you're nuts. So I don't know if I believe in this playlist. But anyways, they have it. If you're a Spotify person, I am not. I'm a Sirius XM person, but there you go. Shapes of Play. A new collection of products called Shapes of Play, crafted by the team behind the design of the PlayStation consoles, gives you opportunities to create fun moments with our iconic shapes. Shapes of Play Battle is a board game where you can challenge a friend to line up 4 shapes of the same color on the board to win. Shapes of Play Create is a set of magnetic blocks where you can position in any direction to create fun shapes. And Shapes of Play Recharge lets you experience a new way to recharge between games, especially after that tough boss battle. Shapes of Play will launch in December 2024 exclusively through direct.playstation.us.com in the US, blah, 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 blah. Pre-orders start today through the website. Okay, we're going to go check that out. What is this? Just like little tchotchkes? What? Is this like stress balls or something? Hold on. Can I get some more gouge on this? Hold on. We're gonna diverge in this blog post. Celebrate with the Shapes of Play collection. Okay. So it's $35, $45, and $79 for the set. What is this? These are like a little tchotchke. What? This doesn't evoke PlayStation. I mean, yes, it's a sacred symbols, right? For surezies, but including Shapes of Play Recharge, created for players in celebration of PlayStation's 30th anniversary. Experience a new way to recharge your hands between games. Contents include 4 soft touch silicone shapes and a storage box. What? Don't buy this. I don't know who's watching this. Don't buy this. What's the other one? I gotta look. Shapes of Play Battle. It's a black and white board game created by the guys who make blah blah blah. Challenge a friend and to line up 4 different shapes in the same color on the board to win. Take turns in placing one shape on the board at a time. Win by placing 4 different shapes of the same color in a straight line. Contents include 16 squares with acrylic pieces and a storage box. Don't buy this. And lastly, Shapes of Play Create. $80. Including Shapes of Play Create magnetic blocks. It includes 13 magnetic wooden blocks. Don't buy this. Sony, what are you doing? What are you doing? Quit selling us tchotchkes. No one wants this. Just think every time there's a game you want that's out, right? I don't care. Pick a game. Pick a God of War sequel. Pick the next Last of Us Factions. The next, I don't know, Bloodborne and PlayStation 5 remastered. Nope, you're going to get blocks. That's really freaking stupid. Free online multiplayer weekend and esports tournaments. Join us later this month for a free online multiplayer weekend and exciting esports tournaments. Well, that is a very, very repetitive sentence. To celebrate the fantastic online games and communities of PlayStation, we're hosting free tournaments on the 21st and 22nd of September. During those days, you can enjoy online multiplayer for consoles you own without having a PlayStation Plus membership. It looks like they're going to let you play. I don't know if you can get these games, or if you have these games. I can't imagine anybody who has Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 doesn't already have online. Just going to throw that out there. The other two I could argue maybe more an offline mode, but it's kind of weird. During the same weekend, we'll be hosting a series of PS5 esports tournaments from NBA games, Madden games, basically all sports games, right? And look through a little fighting game in there too, Guilty Gear and Tekken 8. If you own any of these games and qualify, and you can compete to win a special 30th themed anniversary avatar and other game-specific prizes. Okay, now you're getting my attention. Players on the PS5 can sign up via the Game Hub or the Tournaments buttons, and keep an eye on compete.playstation.com for all the upcoming news and events. As we celebrate 30 years... Oh, that's it? Okay. Well, I stand by what I said at the top. Sony, as an iconic studio, some of my most fond memories ever are holding a PlayStation controller and experiencing very emotional, moving stories on the screen. I mean, just as recently as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, even going back, Visions of Mana, which just came out, just very emotional for me. Really juicy soundtrack. Crying like a baby at Shadow of the Colossus. I'm trying not to point Final Fantasy things, but they were just such emotional experiences. Resogun, Contrast. I mean, those are like the PlayStation 4 launch games. PlayStation loves indies. The first time I ever played Uncharted on PlayStation 3. ATX Off-Road Fury. The first game my wife bought me, and listening to Straw Horse. There's a song called Atlanta by Straw Horse. And driving around on this quad bike in this fully rendered 3D world, like Twisted Metal, God of War. I mean, God, what an amazing, amazing 30 years Sony's had. This blog post ain't it, though. I mean, I'm excited for Astrobot. I think the Gran Turismo thing is kind of interesting. And the soundtrack thing sounds amazing. If they are good soundtracks, I will 100% buy them on Apple Music and add them to my phone. I'm very excited for that. But the block thing, I don't know. It seems like a miss to me. I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the kickoff of the 30th PlayStation anniversary. More importantly, what are we missing? What do we need to see? We know we're going to get a new console. That's already a given. That's happening. So we don't need to wish for that. It's about to be existing. Are there certain games? Are there new controllers? Are there new peripherals that we want? New headsets, monitors, what? What do we need? What do we need from Sony? What's the best way to celebrate something? Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to selfishly say collector editions and statues and things that I can look at and put on my shelf. I know that's not for everyone, but to me, that would be really cool. And I would love to see more investing in collected art, whether it be art books or posters or holographic, I don't know, 3D thing. I don't know, something I can look at visually and be reminded of something amazing. Action figures, little blind boxes, something like that. That's what I want. We'll see what we get. But please, whatever you do, wherever you are, do not buy these stupid blocks, okay? Don't. Please don't.